ignore.
You certainly can't. You cannot ignore it.
Right.
You can't. Oh, man, they're both going out. You got Melania and Trump going after you.
Yeah.
I will say it's kind of sweet the way you've unified them. You really brought them together.
I tried.
Trump is absolutely furious after both Desi Lydic and Jimmy Kimmel roasted him back-to-back on live TV. And honestly, the timing could not have been worse for him. It all started when Trump proudly bragged about passing multiple cognitive tests during a press conference, acting like identifying animals such as a lion, bear, alligator, and squirrel was some kind of historic achievement. Desi Lydic instantly turned that moment into comedy gold, mocking Trump for flexing the bare minimum and comparing him to the only kid in class who gets a special helper. But the real reason her segment exploded online was because she exposed how Trump keeps changing the story every single time he talks about these tests. Viewers online immediately noticed the contradictions and started calling out Trump for constantly rewriting his own version of events on television.
Wolf. And, I love the name Melody because for a long time, they have spell correct and word correct on these crazy machines that we use to put out truths, or they used to be called tweets.
Uh-oh, look out, he's leaving.
One moment it is a squirrel, the next it is a whale and giraffe. But somehow he always claims he aced it perfectly. Then things got even more bizarre when Trump attended a children's fitness event at the White House and somehow transformed it into a rant about nuclear weapons, Iran, transgender athletes Barack Obama, and fighting ability. Instead of inspiring kids, Trump spent nearly an hour spiraling into topics completely inappropriate for children. Parents in the audience looked confused while viewers online mocked the speech and questioned why the event suddenly became another political meltdown.
It is the Donald J. Trump and Desi Lydic Fox Explains, presented by Donald J. Trump. So that's a new thing.
He's sponsoring the segment now?
He is now. He put his name on it.
Is he paying for that?
I have not seen a dime.
You're not getting a check.
He says he will, but I have not seen a dime.
Desi Lydic destroyed him for it, pointing out how the same man bragging about passing a cognitive test immediately proved he has zero awareness of what is appropriate to say in front of children. She mocked the speech for turning a simple kids' event into another chaotic political rant filled with random complaints and awkward moments that shocked viewers online.
So you have a humiliation kink, but you really think you'd lose a fight to an 80-year-old man? I mean, come on, Republicans, believe in yourself. Where's that storming the Capitol confidence? To be fair, this is an incredibly weird phone call to receive. Yeah, Dave, it's the polling company. You think you could take President Trump, you f***ing pussy?
And while she was tearing apart Trump's behavior, Jimmy Kimmel went after a completely different controversy involving Trump's massive White House ballroom project. Trump originally promised the ballroom would cost around $200 million and claimed private donors would fully pay for it, meaning taxpayers would spend nothing. But now Republicans are reportedly trying to push over $1 billion in taxpayer money toward the project under the excuse of security upgrades. Kimmel exposed the contradiction, perfectly reminding viewers that Trump repeatedly promised Americans would never pay a cent, only for the cost to explode while taxpayers quietly get handed the bill. Kimmel mocked the entire situation by joking that Trump suddenly needs public money after bragging for months that his billionaire friends would cover everything themselves. Then Kimmel circled back to Trump's bizarre fitness event speech, laughing at how a simple ceremony for kids somehow became a chaotic lecture about wars, transgender issues, and world destruction. Both comedians basically painted the same picture. Trump constantly creates these disasters himself, then gets angry when people laugh about them. And of course Trump responded exactly the way everyone expected. He went on Truth Social attacking Kimmel, Desi Lydic, and other late-night hosts, calling them talentless failures and demanding networks fire them. But every single time Trump lashes out like this, the clips spread even faster online, the jokes get bigger, and the comedians gain even more attention. That's what makes this entire situation so brutal for Trump. The more emotional he gets, the more fuel he gives them. And right now, after getting mocked non-stop for cognitive tests, bizarre speeches, and taxpayer-funded ballroom drama, Trump is clearly in full rage mode. And honestly, that's the part making this whole situation even more embarrassing for Trump. Nobody forced him to brag about cognitive tests. Nobody forced him to turn a children's event into a speech about nuclear war and culture wars. And nobody forced him to promise Americans that taxpayers would never fund his ballroom project. He created every one of these headlines himself, and now late-night television is simply putting a spotlight on it. Desi Lydic and Jimmy Kimmel did not need to invent anything or exaggerate the story because the clips already speak for themselves. That's why these segments hit so hard online. People are watching Trump claim he is mentally sharp while simultaneously creating one awkward controversy after another during speeches, interviews, and public appearances watched by millions every single day.